What's up, everybody? I'm John Middlekauff. You know what I need you to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We got content for days reacting to every NFL game all the time, every single day. Subscribe, like the videos. Let's go. I do think when you look at the Cowboys, we talk shit would be strong, but like Kirk Cousins getting made fun of a lot. Like, oh, he's this great businessman. He made $300 million, and what does he have to show for it? Now, in fairness to Kirk Cousins, we never considered him like some top quarterback, but he kind of hovered between 8 to 12. That's a guy, if you do a good enough job building the team, should be able to compete for a Super Bowl, right? We have seen Jared Goff lead a team to a Super Bowl, lead a team to the NFC Championship. And I think there have been periods like, is Dak, Kirk Cousins, similar mold, similar type player, like never going to be an elite guy, but when he's on, pretty damn good. And I wonder if Dak's career is going to end, and we're going to speak about him like an NBA player. It's like, oh, yeah, remember Dak? Guy that made $575 million playing football and never did anything in the playoffs. Actually was terrible in the playoffs. But then when it came to getting paid, always needed the most money possible, which hindered his team to build around him. And he's a player that needs help building around him. And just like, hey, super rich guy, awesome, but nothing to show of any validity and something that you can hang your hat on from a legacy standpoint when it matters the most. If anything, he'll be known, like, let's face it, he's closer to James Harden than anyone wants to make it out. Some great regular seasons, a lot of Pro Bowls, and a lot of bad playoff performances. So I think the Cowboys, this game in general, I think it's easy for everyone to act like they're going to lose by 100 points. And they might. I just know from a gambling standpoint, you got to be very careful with these divisional matchups. Wouldn't shock me at all if this game gets weird. Same thing Friday night. Listen, it's week one. Every team has hope and beliefs. Now, maybe the Micah Parsons thing deflated some people. By some reports, like some of the players were glad he's gone. But from a football standpoint, it's clearly a big loss. I do just believe you got to be very careful about overreacting to one game. Now, over the aggregate of the season, it could be long, and it could be pretty ugly. But this is what you sign up for when you give a guy $60 million who probably most of the time is somewhere between the 9th to 13th best quarterback. Like, he's going to take up a lot of your cap room. He needs help. Bucky Brooks says tractors and trailers. He needs to be pulled. He needs a good running game. He needs a good defense. He needs a good offensive line, and I think there are a lot of question marks with the defense with the Cowboys, with their offensive line of the Cowboys, because they got a lot of young players. And I'm sorry, their running back room is pretty shitty on paper. Now, just because you're bad on paper, that's why you play the games. How they look between the white lines, you never know. That's a position, too, where random guys get created. But I would have said that last year, and then nothing got created. They were terrible running the ball. And a lot of that was, and Collins talked about this, they couldn't sign Derrick Henry to $8 million. They didn't have any. They had all their cap space. Going to Dak, going to CeeDee Lamb, going to Lawrence, going to Diggs. I mean, they're paying all these guys. And you got to be very careful. And Jerry said this before, and I'll never forget it because I try to use this thinking about whenever I'm making a purchase, like if you're buying a house, if you're going to just purchase whatever that is somewhat on the larger scale for whatever you're, relative to how much money you have, is I've never made a mistake paying a premium for a premium. Well, it's like he's basically talking about paying guys like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. Yeah, you can't overpay those guys. It's impossible. It's impossible to overpay Steph Curry. It's impossible to overpay Aaron Judge, right? It's impossible to overpay Shohei Ohtani. What they bring to the table, they're just so much better than everybody else. But if you overpay Dak Prescott, it's going to be a problem, and it legitimately has. And again, I've always defended Dak. I've said, listen, for whatever reason, he plays really good in November and December, and then he gets in these playoff games and he shrinks. I do think he has it in him to play a good playoff game against another worthy opponent. I mean, his best playoff game is obviously that Tampa team that was folding like a cheap tent. But at this point in time, their team's not going to be good for the foreseeable future. And even if they are able to reset it with this trade, which is possible if you make the right picks, like the reason the Khalil Mack trade, you could say it was a lose-lose. I would say it was kind of a win for the Bears. They made the playoffs a couple times. They got this elite player who was an all-pro and a Pro Bowler, who was a team captain. The Raiders got all these draft picks, and they started whiffing on all the picks. So you got to make the picks look great on paper, but they got them to turn into players. So like trading A.J. Brown for the 17th pick, we laugh at that because they took Treylon Burks. Well, if they had taken, the equivalent of Justin Jefferson or DK Metcalf or just A.J. Brown 2.0, we wouldn't make fun of them as much. They took a guy that most people think stinks, who actually I kind of like coming out in the draft, but clearly he's not a very good player, and now he's injured, and it feels like his career's just derailed. So who you take with those picks is ultimately how we judge the trade. So uh, I don't know how you bet against the Eagles tonight. I would just be leery of huge lines when it comes to divisional opponents. We'll see. I'm very fascinated to watch how the Eagles come out tonight. Should be fun. It's football's back. Sirianni, Brian Schottenheimer, Jerry. Let's enjoy it. We are extremely excited to announce our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. Everyone knows and loves their hotels and casinos, but now you can use the top-rated Hard Rock Bet sportsbook to place all your NFL bets this season. Hard Rock Bet is the only legal sportsbook in the state of Florida and is also available in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado, with more states to come. You can also play on Hard Rock Bet's online casino if you are in New Jersey. As we gear up for the NFL season, sign up for Hard Rock Bet and make a $5 bet, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets if you win. Head over to Hard Rock Bet, sign up, and make your first deposit today. The North Carolina Tar Heels banned Patriot scouts from coming through, which is unheard of. And I said it yesterday, like, nothing's more unbecoming than just old, bitter guy. Like, it's just like, bro, why are you so angry? Especially when, like, life's been pretty good to you. But you can't fake your personality. And Belichick's personality, I'll give him credit, has never changed. Like, this isn't an act. He's not Mr. Smiley. But to me, to ban the Patriots, it's like, bro, get over it. You got fired. That happens in the NFL. Mike Vrabel was asked about Belichick's start. It basically threw a jab, saying that, well, Urban Meyer's first year at Ohio State, he went 12-0. That's my experience because Mike Vrabel was around then. And I think a lot of people are like, I thought they were boys, that they were close. People ask me all the time, like, from how, as a fan, how I've changed, who do I root for? The number one thing I would root for over anything, if my fandom was still as strong as it was when I was a little kid, would be this podcast, would be stories, would be things to get the most people listening, would be how do I get Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Sean McVay to come. I would do anything to improve this and make this bigger over absolutely anything that happens on the field. That is my number one prerogative when it comes to the sport of football, is this podcast. And when you're a head coach, the only thing you care about is your team and the organization. So, yeah, you played for this guy back in the day, and he inevitably traded you. But you're not going to let my scouts come through your organization because you're mad at my owner that he fired you 2 years ago for going 4-12. Guess what, Bill? I got fired as well. It happens. It's football. So I think this Belichick thing, I do think it's insane that the schedule makers made Bill Belichick play on Monday night and then play a road game the following Saturday against Charlotte, which I don't know that much about. I don't think they're that good at football. But the initial betting line was 24 points, so 3 touchdowns and a field goal. It has already been bet down to under 2 touchdowns. I just think that a lot of people, and Bill's, I think, acknowledging the NFL's never having me back, double middle fingers, I hate you guys too, and I'm going to be your enemy, which Coward once famously said that holding a grudge is like chain smoking hate, and I've never forgot that. Because when I was younger, and listen, I got fired in the NFL. I could have easily held grudges and just hated everybody. And I was like, what's the point of this? Like, I can text Howie called me up, said, we're not renewing your contract. I mean, he's one of the GMs in my phone. It's probably a relationship I want to keep. I could have held a grudge to this day. What's the point of that? Just to be mad about something that happened in the past? Like, move on. Stop looking in the rearview mirror. Isn't that what Belichick's telling his players? Like, let's move forward. We got to get better. Yet he's holding this grudge in the past against this 85-year-old owner. It's not, the scouts didn't do this. Elliott Wolf didn't do this. Mike Vrabel had nothing to do with this. but you're taking it out against them. So I think Mike Vrabel saying that was because of what's going on behind the scenes with the scouting community. It's an embarrassment. And I've been pro Belichick. I've defended him, but I'm starting to think like with his mindset, with the way people are, the TikTokification of the youth, he might be fucked.